In this part, I want to talk about the linear equation in two variables. So in mathematics, linear equation is given by, in two variables, is given by this kind of form. This is called the ax plus by plus c equals 0. So why we call it linear equation? Because in two variables, because it has two variables x and y, and the power is 1. So it's called the linear equation. And here a, b, c are constants. A, b, c are constant. So this is called the general form or the standard form. This is the standard form of linear equation or general form. And in mathematics, this linear equation represents a straight line, which is a straight line. And one question is about straight line is how can we distinguish the different straight lines? We can use the steepness of a line. Okay, we can use the steepness of the line to distinguish two different lines. So the steepness of a line, which is called the slope of a line, which is actually we can use the slope of line to measure the steepness. Okay, so we are interested in how can we calculate the steepness of a straight line. So now let's look at some remark. The first one, every non-vertical vertical line has no slope. Okay, so what's the meaning for the vertical line? Vertical line is this line. This is called the vertical line. The vertical line has no slope. 2. Every non-vertical line has a slope. So the slope, if a line going up, go up from left to right, for this case, the slope is positive. Okay, so this is the one example. Go up from left to the right. So this one has a positive slope. So we see this has a positive slope. For if a line goes down from left to the right, then for this case, the slope is negative. So we have a negative slope. So this is the typical example. Go down from left to the right. Then see we have a negative slope, positive slope, so where the slope equals 0. This is if you have a horizontal line, has 0 slope. Okay, in other words, this line, it has a 0 slope. The slope equals 0. And we like to use m, lowercase m, to denote a slope. So for this case, m equals 0. For this case, the slope is less than 0. And for this case, the slope is greater than 0. And for the horizontal one, slope does not exist. For the vertical line, the slope does not exist. Horizontal, the slope is 0. So the next question is, how can we calculate the slope? Compute slope m. We want to compute slope m. Let's look at this example, this illustration. If you have a straight line, okay, we pick arbitrary 2 points. This point is x1, y1. This point is x2, y2. So this here is y1, right? Here is x1. Here is x2. Here is y2. So if we move this point along the line to the second point, x2, y2, we notice that there is a horizontal change, which is change from x1 to x2, right? Well, this is the horizontal change. So the change is x2 minus x1, right? If we move this point to here, it also have a vertical change, which is from here to here, right? This is the y2 minus y1. We from y1 to y2. So the vertical change is y2 minus y1. So here we call x2 minus x1. This is called the horizontal change. Or the change in x. Or sometimes we call the run. y2 minus y1, which is called the vertical change. Or we call the change in y. Or we call the rise. Okay, so how do we define the slope? So the slope is actually the rise over the run. In other words, it is the change in x, a change in y, divided by the change in x, or the vertical change divided by the horizontal change. So it's equal to m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So there is a very important thing you should be careful, which is the index. The order of the index should be matched from the top and the bottom. Okay, in other words, m should be equal to y2 minus y1. So here it must be x2 minus x1. M cannot be written as y2 minus y1 over x1 minus x2. So you can say this index 2, 1 and 2, 1 should be matched. Okay, if you write y1 minus y2, then the denominator must be x1 minus x2. So here is 1, 2, and here is also 1, 2. So you should be very careful, okay? You cannot change the order of the index. They should have the same order of the index from the top and the bottom. So now let's use example. If we have a line through 2 points, 4, 2 and 2, 5. What is the slope? Find the slope. Okay, if we know 2 points on the line, then the slope is, here is the things you should be, so you can let this one to be x1, y1. This is x2, y2. Okay. Then the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So which is 5 minus 2 over 2 minus 4. So that is negative 3 over 2. Okay. Negative 3 over 2. So you can see that this is the 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So this is the 4, 2. And 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is this point. This is 2, 5. So this is the line, okay? So the slope is negative 3 over 2. You can see which is we just you can written as negative 3 over 2 as negative 3 over 2, right? So that means the rise is negative 3. So let's go down 3 units. 1, 2, 3, 3 units. The denominator is 2, so increase by 2 units. 1, 2, then it will be here, right? You can treat this one as 3 over negative 2. 3 over negative 2. So which means if we start from this point, we go up 3 units, 2, 3. Then go in decreased by 2. 1, 2. It will be here. Okay, you can treat the slope as the different ways. So now, if we are given a point for 2 point and the slope m equals negative 3 over 2, okay, then we want to sketch a line. Okay, and so we know that 2 points determine a line. So now we have this point or one point already, which is 4, 2. And if we can get another point, then we're done, right? So we can use this slope to get another point. Let's look at 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2. Right, 4, 2. This is 4, 2. 4, 2. So the slope is -3 over 2. So you can treat this one as -3 over 2, right? So that means the rise is equal to -3. The run is equal to 2. Okay. The rise equals -3. So that means you need to go down 3 units. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, right? Then the run is 2, so increased by 2 units. 1, 2. So the next point would be here, right? So this is the straight line. So the next thing is, so for this part, the most important thing is this formula. If you know 2 points, you can always calculate the slope of straight line goes in through these 2 points.